Welcome to another quick review from Ultimate DIY. And today we're going to look at something really cool, a neat laser. And this is a DIY type laser. The reason I say it's a DIY laser is it's very simple. It doesn't have a lot of extra functions that you don't need. It has what you need. It's small, compact. It's just an all-around great DIY handyman type laser. And I'll be honest, guys, I work as a pro. I get out there and I'm working tile, I'm working decks, I'm working all kinds of things. This thing will work no matter what it is that you do. It's really good. Matter of fact, anything with the Fanttik name on it is good. I have a lot of their tools. They have a lot of really good quality things. So this is going to be a rechargeable system. So it's going to last you quite a while. And I believe this thing will hold. I had a few little notes I wrote down on it, because it is so impressive. This thing will actually hold, even being small, it holds a 10-hour charge. That's really impressive. So without any further ado, guys, let's open this up and let's take a look at it and let's see how good it is. So you're going to lift from the bottom here. It just pops right open. Oh, I have no laser. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I do. It's actually so small, I can put it in my pocket and walk around. That's what I like about this laser. So let's go ahead and take a look at a few things on it, and then I'll tell you about a couple of things you get with it. First thing I'm going to point out, it's got an all rubber housing. Now, where that comes in handy, of course, is if you drop it, it's kind of like having a cover on your cell phone. It helps protect it. Now, do not throw lasers and stuff around. They are a very delicate piece of equipment, and they have a little pendulum type thing inside that if you start doing that, you're going to knock it out of whack. And this is accurate up to 1/8 of an inch within 30 feet. And this has a pulse mode on it where you send out a pulse and use a receiver. You can go up to like 165 feet. You can go a long ways. So overall, really great unit. It has the little tie-in at the bottom so that you can put this on a tripod, which I do a lot when I'm doing tile. So I'll put it on a tripod and I'll work that tripod up and keep my lines. And probably every second, 2, 3, 4th row, I'm checking to make sure that I'm not dropping and that everything is exactly where it needs to be. So another really good function on this is it is going to be self-leveling. You have a lock button on the side, you have it unlocked, it will actually be able to level itself. It'll level out. You lock it and it will lock that laser in, and then you can turn it diagonal and make a diagonal line or whatever that you want to do. So you have two different types of functions. So the self-leveling and the lock are great. And one other thing on that rubber coating, one thing to keep in mind, guys, is if you get this dirty, the rubber coating makes it really easy to clean. And I like that. I hate units that have all kinds of grooves and things in it, have the rough plastic. They pick up grease and grime. This is going to be able to really maintain its newness look for a long time. Also on this side, it has the charging port right here, and it has a cover. So this thing is fairly waterproofed on the outside to keep water from getting inside. Even the control panel, which is extremely simple to use, is covered so that it's not going to get water down in it. The lock buttons are right here on the side. Either lock on or off. I mean, that's pretty much it. When you get to the control panel, you're going to turn it on. You have a battery indicator telling you how much battery you have in it. And then you are going to have the pulse mode. And it's a little button here that I told you about where you can go further and use a receiver. Now, the receiver does not come with this unit. You'll have to pick that up on your own. But I use a receiver quite a bit on most of my lasers, especially if I'm outside. This is the green laser. Green is much brighter, probably 3 or 4 times as bright as red. And it's pretty much all I use. I do not have red lasers anymore, have nothing but green lasers. So all you're going to do, though, is you're going to power it on right here. And I'm going to shoot it against me so that you can kind of see here. And power it off. And you may not have been able to see that actually in the video, guys. But just stay tuned because we're going to go ahead and carry this outside, and I'm going to test it outside in the Texas sun because they claim that this laser is so bright that you can see it outside. So we're going to see. Now, keep in mind the area I am going to do this in is a little bit shaded because I am working on the side of my house and I'm putting up new siding, and that's where we're going to see, kind of line it up and see how straight that siding's going and see if this really functions outside. Okay, so that's pretty much it on the unit here. Now, I did tell you you had a little bag of accessories. They're going to give you this really nice bag to keep this in so it doesn't get all scratched up and banged up. And it has a drawstring on it, I do like. And then if you pull the stuff out of it right here, just set this down. This is really a nice little system, and you look at it and you're like, what is it? It looks very simple, no big deal, right? All this is going to do, and if you're not using a tripod, you can screw this on right here, and I'm going to do it so that you can kind of see. Once I get it started, it's kind of hard to do and hold it up where you guys can see. So much easier doing it just on a table. All right, so it's on there. So now I can move this wherever I want. It swivels. Now this has two things here. Let me do it this way so that you can kind of see. You have magnets so that I can put it on something metal. If you're in a house, it could be a refrigerator, it could be a stove, it could be anything you have in a house. If you're working in a steel building, this thing's fantastic because you got steel everywhere. But if you don't have any steel and you're working somewhere and you need it, especially up high, say maybe you're doing a picture and you're going to shoot from across the room because you want it around the same level as the one on the other side of the room, you can use the little nail hook and put the nail in right here and just set it in. Super, super easy, super quick. If you are doing new construction or you're doing remodeling, that is extremely great because a lot of times you don't have the sheetrock up or the sheetrock's not done, so you're not worried about a nail hole. That's perfect. And then again, you can go right back to the old handy tripod, set it on a tripod. As a matter of fact, I'll do that outside so you see how easy it works on a tripod. So let's go ahead and get outside and let's do some testing out there. Okay guys, we're outside now in the Texas sun, but this was actually not directly after what you just saw. When I went to go outside, it was pouring down raining. Matter of fact, it rained for 2 days straight. This is really 3 days later. So through the magic of video, you guys are seeing it immediate. So I have got the laser on and it is in the green mode right now so that you can see it actually on the wall. You can see when I go across here. Now this siding I just put up, but it has not been painted yet. This is the tripod I generally use when I'm tiling inside or I'm doing something very low. This one will only go up to about this high. Then I move to my larger tripod. I will always set my first row, whether it is tile or whether it's siding, you want to set that exact. Get it as close to exactly horizontal as possible because it's going to set the tone for the rest of the wall. As I go up, whether I am tiling or siding, I do not check every line. I will skip every second or third, probably up here on this one to be on the third, and then I will check it again and make sure everything's going great. All right, so all that being said, how does the laser work? Right now, I have it in the unlocked mode, means my pendulum is free. When the pendulum is free, it is going to self-level. So when I tilt it back or tilt it sideways, it's going to try to level. And if you get too far over, it flashes, meaning that it is so far out of level that it cannot level. You'll want to use your legs and kind of level the tripod out some at that point. There's also the function on the top you're going to push and you're going to see a constant flash no matter what you do. And what that's doing is sending that signal out so the receiver can pick it up if you're further away or trying to do something very, very big. So now, why would I lock the pendulum? I'm going to lock it here to show you. Now we are in the locked mode, and let me turn it back on. It decided to shut itself off. There you go. So what that means is it still looks straight, but it's actually not leveling. What it'll do is now if I turn it, I can actually have a vertical line this way, and I can tile in an angle, I can paint in an angle, I can do all kinds of things in an angle. I've locked my pendulum. It's no longer going to find self-level. So it is a great little system, very simple to actually function, and the lights are pretty bright, even out here in the Texas sun. Now, I will tell you, if you get very far back, let's back it up a little. I mean, I'm still pretty bright. This is probably... we're about 10 feet, 12 feet right here. That's probably about 10 feet. And I can still see it. I'm going to go ahead and move back a little further so that we can see. I'm going to go probably past the camera. Okay, so we can still see the lines. I'm way past the camera. So we are about 20, I'd say it's about 25 feet. Still see it. I'm going to go further. And we're at about 30 feet and I can still see the line. Now, granted, guys, I don't know how much you could see it, but I could see it very well actually out here in real life. So I could go about 30 feet back and could see fine. Now, remember, you can use the little receiver and you can go much further back and it's going to actually work that way. So there you go, guys. That's how it actually functions. All right, guys, so there you go. You saw it works actually very well outside. As a matter of fact, it was really bright. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it in the video. I will try to brighten it up to let you see as much as possible, but I can tell you in real life, when you're looking at it, it's very bright. I did not have a problem at all. Now, that was fairly close. If you're going to get further out, be sure you get that receiver. One other thing I forgot to mention, guys, is not only is it small and I can put it in my pocket, but this thing only weighs about half a pound. I mean, it's just amazing, the technology in this little bitty package. So if I was going to rate this on a scale of 1 to 5, I'd have to give this like a 7 because I think it's way beyond just a normal little compact laser. I think it is extremely well made and well thought out. So if you want a good laser, be sure you pick one up today. I don't think you're going to regret it. And we'll see you guys on the next review.